Well, good morning, everybody. Oh. Piggy, here's your breakfast here. No? Okay, here. I've got some peach for you. Yeah? So, good morning, everybody. This is Piggy's AA breakfast reading. I'm going to read a story from the big book. This one is called Women Suffer Too. Despite great opportunities, alcohol nearly ended her life. An early member, she spread the word among women in our pioneering period. Here's some apple. Yeah, there's some romaine there too. Oh, iceberg. Oh, you want another peach? Okay, here. What was I saying? From far away, as if in a delirium, I heard my own voice calling someone. Dorothy. Talking of dress shops, of jobs, the world came clearer. The sound, you'll have to bear with me because I have to scroll it, of my own voice frightened me as it came closer, and suddenly there I was, talking of I knew not what to someone I'd never seen before, and that very moment, abruptly, I stopped speaking. Where was I? I'd waked up in strange rooms before, fully dressed on a bed or a couch. I'd waked up in my own room. Are you listening, Piggy? In or on my own bed. Are you leaving? Come sit over here. Yeah? Come on, we've got this nice... That's it, good girl. Come and sit. She's a good girl. Yes, she is. Can I have a kiss this morning? Kiss. Kiss. Can I have a kiss? Good girl. Okay, let's get back. This could take forever. Oh, so she's moving. You nudging me? Yes. Am I in your way? Guess you didn't want your breakfast this morning. Where are you? Well, you might just have to listen to me since she's hidden behind me. Okay. Oh, there she is. She's laid down on her clean little blankie. Yeah? All right, I'll see if I can move the computer around. All right. All right, it's okay. It's okay, you're doing good. I know you want to go back to sleep, huh? You guys are going to have to just bear with me a minute till I get into the right position so we can see Piggy for her breakfast readings. Okay, that should work. There's 8 pages of this, so this should be fun. Maybe I can, once we've done this once, we can get on with it. All right. But this was different. This time I seem to be... That's my... Hey, excuse me. Excuse me, but that's my nightgown. Why don't you just lay down? Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Good girl. Good girl. I will continue. Maybe not. She seems like she's on the march again. Oh, she's gone behind me again. Well, this is turning out to be fun. Piggy, I'm going to read this story wherever the hell you are. Okay, let's try moving again. I hope I'm not flashing anybody. That would be funny. Well, probably not. Are you going to stay here now? Yeah? All right. All right. I know. I love you too. Yeah, she's a good girl. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yeah. Yes, she is. She's such a good girl. I'm going to read you a story, Pigs. Well, we'll continue. Anyway, she was chatting to this strange young woman, Piggy. She was chatting on pleasantly and comfortably. You want to hear the story or not? I know. She's a good girl. I love you. And I love you. Good girl. She's a good girl. Yes, she is. Terrified, I looked around. I was in a large, dark, rather poorly furnished room. The living room... Bear with me. I know. Kisses are nice. Yeah. Don't pull my nightgown off. And what are you doing with it on anyway? Anyway. Terrified, I looked around. I was in a large, dark, rather poorly furnished room. The living room of a basement flat. Cold chills started chasing up and down my spine. My teeth were chattering. My hands were shaking. So I took them under me to keep them from flying away. Oh, yes. Kisses are nice. Thank you. My fright was real enough, but it didn't account for those violent reactions. I knew what they were, all right. A drink would fix them. It must have been a long time since I had my last drink, but I didn't dare ask this stranger for one. I must get out of here. In any case, I must get out of here before I let slip my abysmal ignorance of how I came to be here. Oh, you're going to lay? Okay, good girl. And she realised that I was stark staring mad. I was mad. I must be. The shakes grew worse, and I looked at my watch. 6 o'clock. It had been 1 o'clock when I last remembered looking. I'd been sitting comfortably in a restaurant with Rita, drinking my 6th martini, scrolling, and hoping the waiter would forget about the lunch order, at least long enough for me to have a couple more. I'd only had 2 with her, but I'd managed 4 in the 15 minutes I waited for her, and of course I had the usual uncounted swigs from the bottle as I painfully, oh, there you are, good girl, got up and did my slow spasmodic dressing. In fact, I had been in very good shape at 1 o'clock, feeling no pain. What could have happened? That had been in the centre of New York, on noisy 42nd Street. This was obviously a quiet residential... I'll keep stroking you, but I just got a stroll. Okay, you're fine. This was obviously a quiet residential section. Why had Dorothy brought me here? Who was she? How had I met her? I had no answers, and I dared not ask. She gave no sign of recognizing anything wrong, but what had I been doing for those lost 5 hours? My brain whirled. I might have done terrible things, and I wouldn't even know it. Somehow I got out of there and walked 5 blocks past brownstone houses. There wasn't a bar in sight, but I found the subway station. I'm here, it's okay. I'm going to keep stroking you. The name on it was unfamiliar, and I had to ask the way to Grand Central. It took 3/4 of an hour and 2 changes. Okay, I've just got to scroll. Just be patient. Okay, I'm here. She's a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I had been in the remote reaches of Brooklyn. That night, I got very drunk, which was usual, but I remembered everything, which was very unusual. And I remember going through I remember going through what my sister assured me was my nightly procedure of trying to find Willie Seabrook's name in the telephone book. I remembered my loud resolution to find him and ask him to help me get into the asylum he had written about. I remembered asserting that I was going to do something about this, that I couldn't go on. I remembered looking longingly at the window at an easier solution and shuddering at the memory of that other window 3 years before in the 6 agonizing months in the London hospital ward. I remembered filling the peroxide bottle in my medicine chest with gin. In case my sister found the bottle, I hid under the mattress. And I remembered the creeping horror of the interminable night in which I slept for short spells, and woke dripping with cold sweat and taken with the utter despair to drink hastily from my bottle. Oh, now she's butting me. And I remember the creeping horror. Oh, I've read that bit. I'm hoping you guys are being patient. To drink hastily from my bottle and mercifully pass out again. You're mad, you're mad, you're mad! Pounded through my brain, and each returning ray of consciousness, and I drowned the refrain with drink. That went on for 2 more months before I landed in a hospital and started my slow fight back to normalcy. It had been going on like that for over a year. I was 32 years old. When I look back on that horrible year of constant drinking, I wondered how I survived it, either physically or mentally, for there were, of course, periods of clear realization of what I had become, attended by memories of what I had been, and what I had expected to be, and the contrast was pretty shattering. Sitting in 2nd Avenue bar, accepting drinks from anybody who offered, after my small stake was gone, and sitting at home alone with the inevitable glass in my hand, I would remember. And remembering, I would drink faster, seeking speedy oblivion. It was hard to reconcile this ghastly present with the simple facts of the past. My family had money, and I had never known denial of any material desire. The best boarding schools and finishing schools in Europe. Yeah, you're a good girl. You enjoying the story? Hey? Scrolling. Had fitted me for the conventional role of debutante and young matron. The times in which I grew up, the Prohibition era, immortalised by Scott Fitzgerald and John Hell Jr., had taught me to be gay with the gayest. My own inner urges led me to outdo them all. The year after coming out, I married. So far, so good. All according to plan, like thousands of others. But then the story became my own. My husband was an alcoholic, and since I had only contempt for those without my own amazing capacity, the outcome was inevitable. My divorce coincided with my father's bankruptcy, and I went to work, casting off allegiances and responsibilities to anyone other than myself. For me, work was only a different means to the same end, to be able to do exactly what I wanted to do. For the next 10 years, I did just that. For greater freedom and excitement, I went abroad to live. She'd push it. She's got a butt. She's... What? I know. There's some apple there. What are you doing now? Don't eat my wires, though. Okay. Settle down, then. It's okay. Yeah? Yes. Oh, don't bite my knee. Your teeth are sharp. Okay. Good girl. Just there's fine. Okay, for the next 10 years, I did just that. For greater excitement, freedom and excitement, I went abroad to live. I had my own business, successful enough for me to indulge most of my desires. I met all the people I wanted to meet. I saw all the places I wanted to see. I did all the things I wanted to do. I was increasingly miserable. Headstrong and willful, I rushed from pleasure to pleasure. What are we doing now, pigs? I rushed from pleasure to pleasure and found the returns diminishing to the vanishing point. Yeah, it's okay. Are you going to settle at any point? Anyway, we'll keep reading. Hangovers began to assume monstrous proportions, and the morning drink became an urgent necessity. Blanks were more frequent, and I seldom... I'm just trying to read the story. Come on, you can settle down. Yeah. Okay, we're going to continue. And I seldom knew how I got home. When my friend... Okay. When my friends suggested that I was drinking too much, they were no longer my friends. I moved from group to group, from place to place, and went on drinking. With a creeping insidiousness, drink had become more important than anything else. It no longer gave me pleasure. It merely dulled the pain. Okay, so we're resting on my knee now, are we? Okay, it's okay. You're a good girl. No doubt I've been in Oh, excuse me, I missed a bit. It no longer gave me pleasure. It merely dulled the pain, but I had to have it. I was bitterly unhappy. No doubt I had been an exile too long. I should go home to America. I did. And to my surprise, my drinking grew worse. When I entered a sanitarium for prolonged and intensive psychiatric treatment, I was convinced that I was having a serious mental breakdown. I wanted help. I tried to cooperate. As the treatment progressed, I began to get a picture of myself, of the temperament that had caused me so much trouble. Bear with me, I'm scrolling. I had been hypersensitive, shy, idealistic. My inability to accept the harsh realities of life had resulted in a disillusioned cynic, clothed in a protective armor against the world's misunderstanding. The armor had turned into prison walls, locking me in loneliness and fear. All I had left was an iron determination to live my own life in spite of this alien world And here I was, an inwardly frightened, outwardly defiant woman who desperately needed a prop to keep going. Alcohol was that prop, and I didn't see how I could live without it. When my doctor told me I should never touch a drink again, I couldn't afford to believe him. I had to persist in my attempts to get straightened out enough to be able to use the drinks I needed, without them turning on me. Besides, how could he understand? He wasn't a drinking man. He didn't know what it was to need a drink, nor what a drink could do for me, or one in a pinch. I wanted to live, not in a desert, but in a normal world. And my idea of a normal world was being among people who drank. Teetotalers were not included. And I was sure that I couldn't be with people who drank without drinking. In that I was correct. I couldn't be comfortable with any kind of people without drinking. It's okay, I'm going to stroke you. I just got to scroll. All right, okay. I never had been. Naturally, in spite of my good intentions, good girl, in spite of my protected life behind sanitarium walls, I several times got drunk and was astounded and badly shaken. It was the chickens are at the door. That's probably what you can hear one of the girls. Anyway, that was the point at which my doctor gave me the book Alcoholics Anonymous to read. The first chapters were a revelation to me. I wasn't the only person in the world who felt and behaved like this. I wasn't mad or vicious. I was a sick person. I was suffering from an actual disease that had a name and symptoms like diabetes or cancer or TB. I'm going to scroll, Piggy. Just settle a minute. I know. I'm here. Don't eat the wires, that's all. And don't eat the computer. No eating wires. Come settle. Come. Hey. Come on. Come lay down. Those are my socks. That's the computer. Okay. This is called Moving Around with Piggy Day. My socks, darling. Are you going to settle again? Good girl. But then I hit a snag. Oh, excuse me. It was respectable, not a moral stigma. Then I hit a snag. I couldn't stomach religion. And I didn't like the mention of God or any of the other capital letters. If that was the way out, it wasn't for me. I was an intellectual, and I needed an intellectual answer, not an emotional one. I told my doctor so in no uncertain terms. I wanted to learn to stand on my own feet, not to change one Okay, don't eat my socks. I got 2 different socks on. I couldn't find the right colours. Why do they always disappear in the... Anyway, shut up, Jen, keep reading. I was an intellectual and I needed an intellectual answer, not an emotional one. I told my doctor so in no uncertain terms. I wanted to learn to stand on my own feet. Not to change one prop for another. And an intangible and dubious one at that. And so on and on for several weeks while I... It's gonna scrolled all the way back. Okay, all right. Keep my feet warm then. And so on for several weeks, while I begrudgingly ploughed through some more of the offending book and felt more and more hopeless about myself. Then, if I can scroll down the page. Okay, mouse, come on. Then the miracle happened to me. It isn't always so sudden with everyone, but I ran into a personal crisis that filled me with a raging and righteous anger. And as I fumed helplessly and planned to get good and drunk and show them, all right, keeping me warm, huh? My eye caught a sentence in the book lying open on my bed. We cannot live with anger. The walls crumbled and the light streamed in. I wasn't trapped. I wasn't helpless. I was free. I didn't have to drink to show them. This wasn't religion. This was freedom. Freedom from anger and fear. Freedom to know happiness and freedom to know love. Scrolling. I went to a meeting to see for myself. This group of freaks or bums who had done this thing. To go into a gathering of people was the sort of thing that all my life, from the time I left my private world of books and dreams to meet the real people, the real world of people and parties and jobs, had left me feeling an uncomfortable outsider, needing the warming stimulus of drinks to join in. I went trembling into the house in Brooklyn, filled with strangers. I found I had come home at last to my own kind. There is another meaning for the Hebrew word that in King James Version of the Bible is translated salvation. It is to come home. I had found my salvation. I wasn't alone anymore. So come home. That was the beginning of a new life. A fuller life, a happier life than I had ever known or believed possible. I found friends, and understanding friends who often knew what I was thinking and feeling better than I knew myself, and who didn't allow me. Okay, just keep still a minute. I'll keep going. I just got to scroll. I'm using Piggy as the mouse pad. Who didn't allow me to retreat into my prison of loneliness and fear over a fancied slight or hurt. Hang on. She moved, and so the mouse took me to a different page. Talking things over with them, great floods of enlightenment showed me myself as I really was, and I was like them. We all had hundreds of character traits, fears and phobias, likes and dislikes in common. She keeps moving. Come on. Suddenly I could accept myself, faults and all, as I was, for weren't we all like that? And accepting, I felt a new inner comfort and the willingness and strength to do something about the traits I couldn't live with. It didn't stop there. They knew what to do about those black abysses that yawned, ready to swallow me when I felt depressed or nervous. There was a concrete program designed to secure the greatest possible inner security for us long-time escapists. The feeling of impending disaster that had haunted me for years began to dissolve as I put into practice more and more of the 12 steps. It worked. Okay, so we're moving again, on the move again, are we? Yeah? Here, there's some apple there. No, you don't want any of that? I'm going to have to move them. Okay, pigs. I know. I love you too. Yeah, come on. I can stroke you here. I know. I know. I love you. Yeah, she's a good girl. I don't know where you're going though. Oh, you're going to lay down there? Yeah? Good girl. You want to see me, huh? I don't know why it's so dark in here today. Anyway, let's see if we can continue with this. It worked. An active member of AA since 1939, I feel... Don't eat no eating computers. No, get your teeth off that. No, not computers, baby. Yeah, you can kiss me, but that's okay. Oh. All right, where are you now? We're doing the merry-go-round here. Okay, an active member of AA since 1939. I feel myself, which is a nasty habit, by the way. Well, no, can be good, I guess, feeling yourself. I've got to stop editorializing this story. Come on. Well, just lay here then. Just lay down so I can finish the story. It's nearly the end. Oh, you can rest on me, huh? No, you can't eat computers. That's one of the things you cannot do. All right. Okay. Okay. Now I've got to find where I was. Okay. I have something to contribute to humanity. Ow, ow, ow. Get teeth off. I'm so glad you guys are being patient with both me and Piggy. Where was the 1939? It didn't stop there. This was the beginning of a new life, a fuller life, a happier life. Piggy, don't eat me. I know I'm in your way, but stop nudging. I found friends, understanding friends, who I know I've read that part before, so we'll go to the next page. It didn't stop there. They knew what to do about the... I've read that too. Oh, pigs. I'll move soon. You've got all this place here, and I'm in your way? I'm going to move. I'm going to move. Give me a minute. I know. It's nearly the end of it. Okay, an active member of AA since 1939. I felt myself a useful member of the human race at last. Stop it, pigs. Don't. No eating me. Something to contribute to humanity, since I am particularly qualified as a fellow sufferer to give and comfort to those who have stumbled and fallen over this business of meeting life. I get my greatest thrill of accomplishment from the knowledge that I have played a part in the new happiness achieved by countless others like myself. The fact that I can work again and earn my living is important, but secondary. I believe that my once overweening self-will has finally found its proper place, for I can say many times daily, "Thy will be done, not mine," and mean it. Thank you for letting me read this story to you, pigs. And for all of you others, I love you.